May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to Kirk Liberal College students' white supremacy arguments. This is a full video, so without further ado, let's get started.
Hi y'all. So before I ask my question, I want to clarify a point that y'all mentioned earlier. You said you don't believe in white privilege, correct?
Yeah, it's a myth. It doesn't exist.
Okay. So according to the Bureau of Prison Statistics from last month, 38.3% of our current inmate population is black. But according to the 2020 census data, only 12.2% of our national population is black. So if you don't believe in white privilege, how do you explain this disparity?
So why are they in jail?
It has been this way for years, since the 90s.
No,
since
why do people go to jail?
Why are black people in jail at higher rates than white people?
That's the question, right? Maybe because they
Yes.
commit more crimes than white people.
But that's not true.
It actually is.
They do. So every independent analysis shows that blacks have commit a disproportionate amount of crime. No one wants to say it out loud, but it's true. In fact, in New York, 52% of murders are committed by blacks, 40+% of arson, 60+% of drug deals. And so the question you should really be asking is what drives them to commit crimes? That's the question, right? The real question is, and maybe I can ask you, what percentage of blacks are raised with two parents in the home?
So actually, according to the Uniform Crime Report for 2019, black or African American individuals committed only about 1 million crimes, while white people committed about 4 million
Yeah,
crimes.
so,
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's
hold on.
proportion.
Yeah, how about the proportion?
There's a lot more white people than black people in the United States.
It's a 60% white country and a 14% black country. So you just proved my point. You literally, so basically that's a disproportionate amount of crime. It is.
But listen, I want to say, look, you are coming up here and you're asking a question, and that's not easy to do, first and foremost, no matter what. And I really appreciate your question in front of all these people. It's hard. So thank you for asking your question. But let me point out what you just did, and you didn't know that you did it. You switched from proportion to raw numbers.
That's right.
And you did that to make a point that you thought you were making, but you weren't. But look, your issue was that Black Americans only make up 13% of the population, and yet they make up, I think you said, like 38% of the prison population. And then you switched to raw numbers because, so black people only make up 13% of the population, but they commit 40% of all homicides and 60% of all violent crime. Unfortunately, I don't think that's anything inherent in black Americans. That's not what I'm saying. That's just the fact. And what Charlie is saying is, look, we've got to look at why that is. So you're claiming that that disparity is inherent proof of discrimination. So would you also say the fact that there are fewer Asians in jail means that than white people, that there is discrimination against white people? No? Disparity isn't proof of discrimination is what I'm trying to say.
So let me just throw, and Allie's exactly right. What percentage of blacks grow up with two parents in the home?
I don't know.
Yeah, less than 20%. That's why there's so many blacks committing crimes and they're in jail. It's that simple. The death of the black family is why blacks are in jail higher than their population percentage. It's that simple.
May I see your criminology degree? Do you have one?
I'm sorry. Wait.
Now she's switching.
Are you a
We gotta argue
biologist,
from an
Ketanji
expert.
Brown Jackson?
No, let me ask you a question. So do I need a criminology degree to be able to understand that 75% of blacks don't grow up with two parents?
To be well versed in it, I believe so.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I don't, but I'm studying it.
Okay,
right
but
now.
you
Oh, she studied it.
But you did the same thing. You looked at a statistic, and he did the same thing. You
Look,
don't have a criminology
Have you
degree,
even
and
taken a
neither does
criminology
he.
course? Have y'all
Hold on
taken
a second. You're doing an argument from authority, okay?
It's a fallacy.
So the laws of physics don't change whether or not you're a physicist, okay? The law of thermodynamics doesn't change whether or not you take a course on it. Answer the question. Why do blacks have a broken family versus a nuclear family, and does that translate to higher rates of crime? Do you admit that?
Why is it that blacks don't have parents, though? Why?
Good question. We subsidize single motherhood in this country through the federal government of the United States. Great question. Now we're getting somewhere. Back in the 1960s, we put forward a program where black women married the government and broke up with the men they were with. Welfare state, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and that has contributed to blacks committing more crimes.
I believe institutionalized racism is your answer, but I don't believe I'm getting anywhere
but
with y'all.
But
so-
no, just let me point something out. Did you know that it's not white Americans that have the lowest incarceration rate or the lowest rates of crime or the highest graduation rates or the highest median income? It's not white Americans. It's Asian Americans. They have the highest median income. They have the highest graduation rates. They have the most degrees. They have the lowest incarceration rates. And guess what? They also have the lowest single parenthood rates. Okay?
Wow.
So that is true across the board. It's not just black Americans. And unless you're willing to say that the reason why Asian Americans make more than white Americans or the reason why Asian Americans go to jail less than white Americans is because there is systemic institutional racism against white people in this country, then your argument against black people doesn't really work.
So let me ask you one thing. You said institutional racism. I got a black friend right up here. He's great. He's great. So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. What can I do that he can't do?
What do you mean?
If institutional racism was real, what can I do that he can't do?
Well, you're less likely to get arrested.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
If we both commit a crime, he's going to get arrested and I'm not?
He could.
Wait, so we just went through this. Blacks commit a disproportionate amount of crime in this country because of broken families. So give me one law on the books.
not because
You
of
said it's
broken
institutional. Give me a law anywhere that discriminates against blacks. Give me one law anywhere in America.
You want current or past?
How about right now?
Well, the fact that crack cocaine is criminalized more than regular cocaine.
No.
is
If I deal
isn't a law against blacks.
if I deal crack cocaine, I'm getting arrested regardless of skin color. Give me a
But if you were
law
dealing white cocaine, you would. You're
Give
less
me a
likely
law
to get a harsher
anywhere
sentence.
that allows white people to commit crimes and get away with it and blacks can't. Does that law exist?
Not anymore. But that
Because
doesn't
there's
mean
no
it's not real.
institutional racism in America.
Because there's
The
not.
idea of institutional racism is laws on the books.
Just because it's not down on paper doesn't mean it's not real.
Okay, give us an example. Not just
God.
a disparity. Not just a
God?
disparity.
God isn't. You don't see God.
He's on paper. Read the Bible.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm getting nowhere with y'all, and y'all are not answering my question, so I'm going to end this Q&A right here. Thank you for your time.
We actually did answer her questions, but I do appreciate,
Wow.
even though she's got an attitude, I do appreciate her courage. I do. That is difficult. That's difficult
Yeah,
to
I
come
mean,
up
it's
here and ask
difficult,
a
but
question, but you can also do it respectfully.
But what bothered me about her, I'm glad she was there. She wasn't being honest. At least be honest, okay? And be willing to be corrected. Well, that was a fun fireworks show to end our time together, right?
Wow. Anyway, this is a beautiful one. It's something to just refresh my memory because I think I've seen this video before, and saying it again, I've seen it in another perspective, from both sides. And I know she's standing out for the Black Americans because of how she feel they have been treated or the high rate at which they have been arrested. But anyway, if you give birth to, let's say, 5 different children, you know which among your children is more troublesome. So you know who to pay more attention to. It's done everywhere. You see, black people or Black Americans complain of policing, too much policing in their environment. It's because the crime rate from that place is quite much. And I don't blame anyone because, if you have siblings at home and you're always constantly telling them to keep quiet so that you have your peace, you will get the idea that, sometimes you just need to just, put things in check to make sure that, yes, they live in peace. Because if something is bad, let's just call it bad. But anyway, for what Charlie said, he said when government came in and start supporting single parenting, I was like, if that is the architect of men not being around, then why don't they stop that law? So that men will be around to take care of their responsibility. Because it seems like when a man gets a lady upset, or they both have issue, and she knows that, yeah, the government can provide for me, she can just decide to walk out from the relationship and be a single mom. If that is affecting children, making them not to grow properly, why don't you guys just stay together and fix the issue? Because running away from your problem does not solve the problem. Instead, it creates room for more problems. That is what I've observed. So the best thing is stay there, settle your issues, fix the problem, be together, take care of a child. Even if you don't want to be together with the person, but let the person be involved in your life, you see, so that the person can take care of the child, teach the child some good traits. Because you see, I feel it takes two to tango. It takes both parents to raise a child. Single parenting, I've never, supported it. The only way I can support single parenting is when there is violence in the relationship and you feel like you can't take it anymore. Then you are free to stay on your own. But if you guys have a little dispute, don't just feel like, yes, the government will provide for you, provide for your child so you can stay on your own. Give the man a chance to be there for his child. And if you're a man, don't just go out there spreading your seed. Be there, take care of your child, be in the woman's life. Because if you leave the work for a woman, she's going to feed your child with whatever she feels she want to feed your child with, and that child might end up hating you for the rest of your life, because you gave her all the burden, all the problem, all the responsibility to take care of. So whatever she tell the child is what the child will believe. So if you decide to do to create a child, then also be there for the child. Be there, pay the fees, clothe the child, make sure there is shelter, buy things for the child. Even if you are not allowed to see the child, more often, just do your part as a father, you know. And by doing that, I think no reasonable woman would see you doing such a thing and deprive you of seeing your child. Anyway, I love this, and I wish the lady, could. I love the angle she's coming from. Love the fact that she's trying to, fight for, the black community and all. And I just saw that she was losing the fight, so she decided to switch to, asking them if they have any degree in, I think, criminology or whatever. But I feel like you all don't have degree. We all don't have degree. Sometimes we learn things or we listen to things that stick, and we don't need to have degree to defend some things that are right. Okay, just like someone saying breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and you're saying, where is your degree to back it up? When you take breakfast, you are kind of ready for that day. You have this strength, this energy to push for that day, even if you don't eat your lunch. But still, that breakfast is way important, and I don't see anyone taking degree before they state that law. It's just because something has been happening consistently, and you feel like, yes, this is the right thing to do, and that is it. Anyway, this is a beautiful one coming from Charlie, and I enjoyed this so much, and I want to see more videos like this. So if you have any recommendation, let me know in the comment section. If it is your first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.